All right, my name is Chijioke Kalu. I'm the founder of Fertility Technologies. We are building Africa's first digitalized fertility health solution, powered by AI and at-home testing. Growing up, I watched how my foster mom, I was adopted when I was in primary six. I watched how she struggled with infertility and the stigmatization that comes with it. And not just that, according to World Health Organization, 1 out of every 4 couples are affected by infertility globally, and over 30% are located in Africa. This is due to stigma, lack of access, no guidance, and inefficient system. So Fertiterra is the future of fertility in Africa. We are bringing our Fertiterra AI app called the Wombs. It helps in personalized fertility tracking, ovulation, menstrual cycle monitoring, and access to specialists. And not just that, how do we serve the rural locations? So we came up with the local portable fertility testing kit where you can quickly assess your fertility status and hormone levels at the convenience of your home. So let me take you through how we do it with the help of our AI model. So how are we different from others? Fertiterra makes use of the dried blood microsampling with advanced technology, and we are the first in Africa with this solution. And we also make use of the community health worker model. No other fertility health company has ever done that. So what is our market size? As at 2024, the fertility health market is growing at a CAGR of 13.2%. With 2024, it grew to 62.7 billion, and it is projected to grow at 101.76 billion at 2028. So if you look at this pie chart, you will notice that Middle East and Africa is only occupying a very small margin of this market, and that means Fertiterra has a very big potential. We have a very huge opportunity in Africa. So how do we make money? We make money through consultation fees, subscription fees, and commission models, and also through Google Ads and product sales. So how are we different? Fertiterra is the only fertility health company that's making use of the high quality dried blood meter, and it is proven to be highly accurate. So what is our financial projection? Our projection estimates $1 million in revenue within the first 3 years by capturing 10% of African growing markets. And if by 2027 we onboard 6,000 users, we are
Yeah, you can round up in 10 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. So if by 2027 we onboard 6,000 users, we'll be making a revenue of $1 million. So what is our traction? Fertiterra has been recognized by World Health, by Millennium Campus Network and United Nations Academic Impact as an emerging technology, and over 1,000 followers on our social are eagerly waiting for our product. We have raised over $15,000, and we have built.
Oh, sorry, Chijioke. You had to be muted after 10 seconds.
Well done, Chijioke. It's not easy. Well done. I commend you for your presentation. Just for the sake of time, respecting everybody's time that's here. But I think you really touched on all your decks. Anyway, my immediate feedback is, this is a really delicate industry that you're engaging in. So the first question that comes to my mind is credibility. How are you managing projecting that? Are you medically inclined, and have you gone through any kind of NAFDAC process if you're looking to serve the Nigerian market, that is? And are they clinical? I'll just list them, just a few things that I observed, and then you can touch on them. Yeah. And then the other is, clinical trials involved, things like this, there usually is. I think it'll be good to have those things on your slide, right? So that people can get to be more, if they have questions. I'm not saying you don't have people that really are waiting for this. I'm sure you do. But like from that investor perspective, it's like, I'm just learning about this for the first time. So I want to know, like, have you gone through all of that process? And then the other question is, in terms of, the research that you did, the slide that you shared that talked about the market, and I'm going to joke about this, but I know your face is looking very serious. But I'm curious if you feel like in Africa we have fertility problem, because we are projected to be one of the fastest growing population-wise in the world. But that does not, again, I'm just joking about this, but again, that's something that, when you look at the data, even the slide that you shared shows that we're just very tight, I don't know how many percentage of that fertility market. So even if you are going to capture 100% of that market, let's say 50% of that market, how big is it? Like, is it really big? So again, I guess the question there is like, what research did you do that brought, there's sometimes you can associate with a problem, which your story really speaks to a lot. There are definitely people that face this problem, but the question is, if it's going to be a tech company that you want to get investment from VC investors, then it has to be $1 billion opportunity. So is it really that big? And or maybe it's a femtech product that is not just about fertility, it's about, female health. So again, the way you present it matters, to think about, so I'm sort of putting up my question and my feedback at the same time. So that is the research that you've done that kind of brought you to the conclusion that this problem exists and this is a solution for the problem, right? And then, being a guy dealing with fertility, I started the company back I think a few months back I think 2 or 3 years ago. I started a company in beauty, and I wanted to digitize beauty, offer beauty service on demand at home. This was during COVID. And I was in Nigeria on the ground. I asked questions and I launched the company, but I was wrong, right? You would think that people today want their beauty services to come to them at home, but the market said otherwise. I had to fold that company after spending a lot of money building it. So, there's that journey of learning and learning through your mistakes. So from my experience, I'm just, helping you to look at these things. Like, have you asked the questions? Do you really believe that there's a market for this? And how did that feedback from people inform you in terms of building the solution?
Yeah, thank you, Henry, for that question. So, just like I mentioned earlier, this is a first-hand issue that I experienced back home. I was how my first time on struggle with this infertility and stigmatization that comes with it. And a lot of time we think infertility is just a female issue. It's also a male issue. So that's why that is where filter technology comes in. First of all, we are dismantling this myth that exists around infertility. So you mentioned that whether we've done our research. Yes, we've done our research with the African Health Impact Initiative. So we have done our research with over 15 hospitals, 10 hospitals here in Rwanda, and also 5 hospitals in Nigeria. But our pilot country is Rwanda. So overall, our team, we have over 20 years advisors who has experiences in gynecology and also in the medical field. So we have we have all the capacity to build what we're doing. And also I studied mechatronics at Dangote Academy. And currently I'm doing my AI and machine learning at African Leadership University. So overall, we have the technological experts, and also we have the medical experts in our team. So, and our team is gender balanced. To tell you that infertility is not just a female thing, just like people see it. So, and what was the question you asked again? What was the other question? And also, Yeah, clinical trials. Yeah, we are currently working with the Rwanda government. Just Rwanda is one of the fastest growing innovation hubs in Africa. So they are open to trying new things. So right now we are currently working with the Rwandan government, the RMD, to get our necessary licensing. But we have already started generating revenue through commissions, and we are currently doing our beta testing. And the beta testing of our app, it involves a lot of iteration, going back to the drawing board to come up with a better version of our app. So, and yeah, if you talked about the opportunity, if you look at this pie chart, you notice that I don't know if you all can see my screen.
Yes. So,
Yeah?
yeah, we can.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the pie chart, this market size, you will notice that only North America is sharing about 40% of the fertility health treatment market, and Africa and Middle East is only sharing about that's about 2% of the market, and that means Fertiterra has a lot of we have like the market is still untapped. So we have all the necessary capacity to capture the market. I don't know if you all understand. So Fertiterra, the opportunity is there. It's just that a lot of people think infertility is a topic that we shouldn't talk about. So that's actually what we are doing at Fertiterra. I hope I answered your question.
All right, I will yield at that. I will have one more, but let's see, Mark, if Mark yields me more time. But yeah, Mark, go ahead.
Thanks, Henry. Well done, Chijioke. If I'm pronouncing your name correctly or incorrectly, please forgive me. And I'm going to see you in Rwanda, no doubt, one of the days. So a couple of thoughts from my side. I mean, it's interesting, Henry, the same kind of thing that you mentioned earlier about, is it really a problem? So what what would probably be helpful, and I think it'll be the same as what Henry said, it's questions and comment, all together, is, if you go back 50 years, what's different about the stats today than 50 years ago? Because, is it increasing more than it was? Is it, what is the status historically around it, in a way? Because then, the problem might be, well, why is fertility dropping? So yes, you're riding the wave of decreasing fertility, and we're leaving alone the issue of, well, what is it? Is it lifestyle? What's causing the decrease? Is it people adopting, busy lifestyles, stress? Not that that's an answerable question, but it's just like, well, okay, you're joining in on this bandwagon, and you're helping couples as they find themselves. But what I'd find interesting, if I was going to be an investor, is, well, what's the historical thing on this thing? That's the underlying problem. I agree with the point we made earlier. It's a couple issue. It's to put, your solutions are there, helping the women, but surely, the problem has got to be or the situation is a couple issue. So whatever you're presenting says, listen, we're not discounting the male part of it, but if it's determined that it's not the male part, then so the sensitivities that Henry started with, it's an area that you've got to be very culturally aware, of how you're projecting things. There was a question, trust, I agree, because it's a very sensitive issue. So whatever the brand building, it's not something people just kind of casually go out and buy. I would imagine it's something that's going to take a lot of thought. So is the trust there? The other point is, they're saying the market's growing, but for someone to go the market, the fertility might be dropping, but are people at the stage of saying, I want to go and buy something. I want to, it's a very private issue. So as much as it, might be coming more prevalent, that doesn't necessarily mean people are ready to go and do something about it. So whether your research covered that or not, I'm not sure. And my last point, you mentioned in the documentation that we got, was around churn and retention. So it made me wonder about your channel, because if your channel is directed at the couple, well, of course you're going to have churn because they've had their children, and they're done. So it was about, well, how do you position the product so that you've got, replicable sales instead of having a churn environment? Was there any thinking around how you position it, or what your channel is, so that you can gain a customer and have a customer forever, rather than having to kind of get new customers all the time? Thank you.
All right. So first of all, I want to say something. Every person deserves the opportunity to have a family, and that is first what we are solving at Fertility. Just like I mentioned earlier, this is a picture of my foster mom and me. So I was a lot of time Fertility had emotional toll on her, and unfortunately we lost her on I think January 2022. So assuming she had access to the solution which we are offering today, she would have had the opportunity to have her own child, or it might even be through IVF, because a lot of them don't even have the right education on how to manage their body. So first of all, through our app, we are helping them manage their lifestyle through the Fertility app called the Wombs. First of all, they will use it. A lot of them don't even know when they're supposed to take in with their partners. First of all, through the help of our AI, we'll be able to track your ovulation cycle, your menstrual cycle, and know when best it is for you to take in with your partner, and know when best it is for you to get pregnant, and when it's not good for you to get pregnant. So that's basically what we are doing with the app. And also you can access our telemedicine platform, where you can be able to speak with gynecologists and fertility experts on how to work on your fertility journey. And we don't just leave them there. We also refer them, because one of our advisors has a postpartum startup. The postpartum company is more like, after Fertiterra is done on your fertility journey, then they will now take up with the postpartum journey. I don't know if you understand what postpartum is, how to train infants and all of those things. A medical personnel will understand what I mean. So, and our solution is accessible from anywhere, anytime, unlike the traditional clinics. And the traditional clinic require appointments, long wait times, and you have to travel to the city for you to access this solution. And a lot of times they can't even travel, because this is the problem I experienced firsthand. And Fertiterra brings fertility care to your fingertips through the help of this, through the help of our Fertiterra Test app. So, and it makes use of what we call the fingerprints dried menstrual blood collection kits, and using advanced technology. How do we do it? So we send this we send the sample to our lab as a dry blood. Then after accurate data analysis, then we provide solution in 10 days. So what are we doing? We are providing this solution instead of you going to a traditional clinic. We are providing it at your fingertips, making it convenience for you. That's basically what we are doing. So infertility is a big problem. A lot of people don't know. We are not trying to cause overpopulation, but we are just trying to make sure everyone has the opportunity to have a family, which everyone deserves. That is just what we are trying to solve. So, and yeah, basically that is it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Just one last follow-on question is, how dependent are you on the postal service? Because you were saying postal, where in South Africa you would never use the postal service. You'd have to use one of the local taxi or one of the, quick courier services. But is that built into your model to use courier if postal is not reliable, or how do you solve for that one?
Yeah, in Rwanda here, there's a courier service we call Vuba. So it's one of the fastest courier services here in Rwanda. I don't know, someone can make research on that. So we are currently working with Vuba. So to make sure we deliver this, our analysis from those in the rural areas, we deliver it to our lab as soon as possible. So, and our timeline is 10 days. We will provide the solution to their problem. So that's just it.
Thank you, Chijioke. Thank you very much, Bella. I'm done.
Yeah, can I add one more curiosity?
Yes.
So, well done, Chijioke. This is a great solution. And again, I think you are very much connected to it emotionally. And the way you tell the story is very compelling. But at the end of the day, it still has to do with, will this work? And it's to be seen, right? I'm not discouraging, but there's always that thing when it comes to go to market. So the final question I have for you is, right now you are going to be beta testing. So this is not available right now. Is it available right now for people?
We are going to beta testing. Our app was already on the market, but we had to go back, through iteration and work on the AI and machine learning aspect of it. And then we are currently trying to work on the redesign the backend and all of that. So, and 500 students, we have up to 529 students from African Leadership University do the beta testing, and we are currently on that. And not just that, we are currently operational because we are earning commission from our clinic, our partner clinics and partner hospitals already. So before we introduce the app and finally the test kits. So hopefully by January, we'll be done with the beta testing. So I have a snapshot of our app. So I don't know.
Okay.
If I'm sure.
All right. That's very helpful to know. Again, it's students. I don't know if they are the exact target market, but for a beta test, yes, at least if there are people that are using it to be able to give you the outcome, and so that you can see how that is really working in reality. And so I guess the other question that I have, which has to do with the market. So launching is the goal, launching right now in Rwanda. So you're focused in Rwanda to do this in Rwanda and see how it works out, and then potentially you will do Nigeria. Is that the goal?
Yes, the goal is to first launch in Rwanda, then come to Nigeria and and launch.
Okay.
So,
all right, that's all, Bello, from me. Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Chijioke. Thank you, Henry, and thank you, Mark. At this point, we are going to somebody has his hand up. Okay, Mark. I think you had. Okay. All right, that's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, Chijioke. So you can stop your screen share. Myself, that's I, Henry, and Mark will be put into a side group, basically, so that we can discuss and do the evaluation and scoring of the pitches and the pitch decks that have been presented with all of your other documents, so that we know the ranking in terms of performance and first, second, third, all those good stuff.
Fertiterra. Chijioke, great job of building something like this. I think my feedback still is, finding out from the customers and doing your beta test to be able to really get a feedback that really tells you what the market is saying. Again, I'm going back to my experience building a marketplace in Nigeria. The thinking was, beauty service on demand is the future. People are not going to restaurant, are not going to restaurant as they used to. They like to order sometimes. Yeah, that could work in beauty too. The salons are still there, but like if I have a platform where I can order beauty service, and I can tell you a lot of times I go to people and they were like, I love this. This is amazing. But when it comes to we are lunch, we're live, okay, book the other right now. Nobody was booking the other. So there's always that go to market, go there. The market will tell you what the reality is. And so most times when it comes to really knowing what works and what doesn't work, we want to see what is the traction, like what's the market telling you. So I would encourage you to really prioritize that aspect of go to market, like figure out how to beta test it, figure out who the right customers and test with them. I know you talked about testing with students, maybe that's easier, but the question is students at that point of fertility need. I am not so sure. I think the people you're looking at certain people are maturity at certain levels. So maybe it's what pushing yourself to doing a beta test with that actual customer base, because that's what's going to tell you, who these customers are. Are they really interested in this product? Are they, would they be willing to try it out, et cetera, et cetera? So that's my feedback.
Fertiterra, again, it's just, it's a matter of focus. And what occurred to me as I was sharing with the guys in the breakout room, Chijioke, is again this distinction between the product, which is fertility, and the machine. And it occurred to me, maybe you're a diagnostic outfit, because what you're solving for is, how do I do a home test, send something by courier to a lab and get a result on my app? So maybe it's not, yes, it happens to be fertility, but maybe you're solving for a much more different problem, which could be any kind of diagnostic, which is home-based, which needs to go to a lab, and then in a privacy-controlled environment, people getting results. So be very aware of the engine underneath what you're building.
In fourth place, admin, are we ready? In fourth place, we have, it's coming up. Once you see it, I think then you that's okay. Okay. Thank you. So that was very rough. That was a rough entry, but yeah, this is what we have to tackle or handle when it comes to using Zoom for events. So Fertiterra came in fourth position, which was led by Chijioke Kalu. But of course, as I said, you are coming to full stream of all of our other development path, so to speak. And it's interesting you're in Rwanda also, as Mark was saying earlier, that is becoming more and more a very big ecosystem for African entrepreneurship. So we will see other avenues, of course, definitely how we can push forward what you've been doing, and also other avenues of building up the company from where you are now to where you need to be, whether it's financially or other ways. But yeah, thank you very much, Fertiterra, in fourth position.
All right, thank you. Thank you everyone for the opportunity. I really appreciate. So, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Building something from scratch, it's something that requires a lot of effort and a lot of iteration. I really appreciate the feedback you all gave to me, and I hope to go back to my drawing board and and work on it. So, all right, thank you, Tongston. I really appreciate it.